Today we are starting my first ever 24-hour reading challenge, 24-hour readathon, whatever you want to call it. I will not be reading for 24 hours straight. I will never read for 24 hours straight. If I could even stay awake, I don't even think it would be physically possible for my eyes to focus on words for that long, but I will never ever miss out on sleep. So I will never do that. I am just kind of doing what I've seen done so many times, where you set a timer for 24 hours, you start it when you're reading and you stop it when you're not reading, and do it over the span of a couple days. With that being said, I am trying to read as much as physically possible during these days. I'm hoping I can get it done in like 3 days. That's still 8 hours a day, which is still like a lot. So we'll see. Today and tomorrow, these are my only plans, is to read. So hopefully I can get like a good chunk done in these next 2 days. I was reading this morning and I did stop to kind of like get ready, do some cleaning up, stuff like that. And I'm only about 2 hours in, so we're not far into this, which is kind of intimidating. I need to start reading again. But I wanted to give you guys an update on what I'm currently reading. I am reading Assistant to the Villain. This is by Nicole Maehrer. Nicole Maehrer. I'm sorry, I literally don't know how to say her last name. I haven't seen too much about this book, although this was the last one at my Barnes & Noble, so it must be pretty popular. Although I don't follow a bunch of people that have been reading this book, I should say. Only one. I only saw one person talk about it, but it had my attention. I don't really know the whole backstory, but apparently the author was posting these, like writing little bits of the book and posting them on TikTok, and they got popular, and so she made a book out of it. And it is supposed to be a comedy. Like, it's supposed to be funny. It is about a girl who gets a job as an assistant of the villain, and the villain is basically like this well-known bad guy in their area, I guess you could say. Yeah, she quite literally is just his assistant. From what I've heard, this is supposed to be a romance, but I've heard there's also not a ton of romance in it. There is, I saw on Goodreads, going to be a second and third book, so I'm sure the romance will blossom. So far, like, and right off the bat too, like from the second they meet, I felt like I really was enjoying the banter and like the, I don't know, like the way that the villain and the main character, whose name is Evie, kind of just like butt heads. But it's hilarious because he's just supposed to be like mean and scary, and he kills people and he's tough, and everybody's like terrified of him, and she's always like doing stupid stuff around him and tripping and falling and saying stupid things and blurting things out and not thinking about what she's saying and like giving him crap about stuff. And to me, their dynamic is just like really entertaining and like really funny. Honestly, I am enjoying this more than I thought I was going to. So I'm on page 145, so I'm almost halfway done with this book. And I do have to say, like, not a ton has happened. I feel like everything that's happened has kind of only like raised questions. Like, there's just like so many things that it's like we're trying to figure out, and like I don't understand really what's going on or like where things are gonna go. So we'll see. It should be interesting. But yeah, I like am genuinely enjoying this more than I thought I would. I really like haven't gotten bored yet, and I am kind of like, I don't know, I saw really bad reviews of this on Goodreads, and I just feel like people sometimes take things too seriously. Like, this is not meant, this is not written to in a way that's meant to be serious, and not every book has to be this like epically written piece of literature. Like, this is literally just a good time, and that's as deep as it is. So I'm gonna get back to reading. All right, it is the next day. This is my issue with my entire life right now, is that I was so tired. I didn't film yesterday evening because I was so tired, and then I go to bed and I can't sleep. Why is it that I'm so exhausted for like the entire late afternoon, evening, and I finally get to go to bed and I can't sleep? Make it make sense. So anyways, I did get a decent amount of reading done yesterday. I read for about 5.5 hours, so I have 18.5 hours left. Is not as much as I wanted to read yesterday, which is crazy. Whenever I'm like, I've only done a couple of these challenges, but every time I do one, I feel like all I did yesterday was read. So how was that only 5.5 hours? I have no idea. Like, what was I doing the entire time that I was awake if I only read for 5.5 hours. I didn't watch TV, I didn't scroll on my phone or anything like that. Like, that's the thing. It's not like, oh, well, I got sucked into TikTok. I didn't. Anyways, I have 60 pages left of this book. So we are almost to the end. Today's a very exciting day because today Two Twisted Crowns comes out and I pre-ordered it. If you don't know, Two Twisted Crowns is, what do they call it? It comes after One Dark Window, which I read in my reading 200 pages a day vlog. And if you saw it, then I think you would know that I liked that book. So it's very exciting that the second one's coming out today. I pre-ordered it on Amazon and I feel a little bit like, I don't know how I feel about pre-ordering stuff on Amazon because I don't know what time it's gonna get delivered today. I could go to Barnes as soon as it opens and I have it this morning. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I read for about a half hour and completely fell asleep, like passed out. Just much later in the morning now, and we're going to get back to it. I did manage to make it to, I'm past page 300. There's 340 pages in the book, so I have like 35 pages left. I'm gonna try to just knock that out. I'm honestly afraid like reading is gonna make me just fall asleep again in general. 17 hours and 55 minutes to go. It feels like so many hours. It is. All right, let's finish this book, shall we? We have some great news. Right as soon as I finished the Assistant to the Villain, I checked my tracking and this was in fact already delivered. Oh, we have Two Twisted Crowns. Oh God, how long is this? 430. Let's backtrack and talk about Assistant to the Villain. I enjoyed it. Was it an amazing, life-changing? No, but it was fun. It was a good time. I thought, based off of like the reviews and the way people were talking about it, that the humor in it was just gonna be like so stupid and there was gonna be like so much like random stupid stuff happening in the book. I didn't really feel like that was the case. I felt like the humor in it was really just more like the characters. They're all so sarcastic and constantly giving each other a hard time, teasing each other, like never responding to a question in a serious way. I really liked that because I feel like that's how I am a lot. Like I feel like with the people I'm close with, like we're always giving each other shit. So I found that aspect of it really entertaining and I enjoyed it. I don't know what I want to rate it yet. Like I want to say like 4 stars because I obviously really enjoyed it, but like I might knock it down a notch because I don't know how to explain it. Like I just don't know how to explain it. It just, I guess not the most like riveting story ever, but like it was entertaining and I had a good time reading it. Like I don't really have any complaints. It just wasn't like an amazing book. Like no, it wasn't amazingly written. Like I understand, I see the people that are so critical of books. I honestly don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess like I can see why this maybe wouldn't be somebody's favorite, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you can read a book and not take it too seriously, then like I say go for it, and that's where I'm gonna leave that. So we're gonna hop into Two Twisted Crowns. I'm gonna be completely honest, like I was so excited about this. I'm like, I still am, because like after finishing One Dark Window, I was like, I just like don't feel like I'm in the mood for this. Like it has like a very like gothic vibe to it and I don't know if I'm like super in the mood for that, but we're gonna do it anyways. Hopefully I just like hop back into the story and get really excited about it. I haven't even started yet. I know I look like a mess right now. Mind your business. I'm so tired. I started this challenge yesterday and the day before that I had read like the entire day just because it was Sunday and I was just like doing nothing and I was into my book and I really wanted to finish it and read it. Now I feel like I have read, like this is the third day that I've just spent the entire day reading and I feel like my eyeballs hurt and I feel like I'm sick of it. And I see why other YouTubers say that like when they do a 24-hour reading challenge that they get into a reading slump. And honestly, it's not that I don't even want to read at all. It's just that like literally my eyeballs hurt. And I just want to take a break for like an hour. Like that's all I want. Like I want to put something on the TV. I want to watch TV or like do laundry. I hate laundry, but I like literally would rather do laundry right now. Make it make sense. I'm gonna at least start this. I did order food, I'm not gonna lie. So I probably, when my food gets delivered, take a break from reading and watch a YouTube video or something. I'm like, I need to take a break from reading so I can watch YouTube videos about books. Girl, you got a problem. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to start my timer. Under 17 hours now. Okay, I kind of getting excited again. Oh. I'm scared. Can we not talk about my appearance right now? Because I have Olaplex in my hair and I did the like self-tanning little contour on my face. It looks crazy. I'm aware it will look good when it comes off. Just ignore it. I just needed to talk because it's been a few hours and I haven't read. Why? When I do these challenges, I'm like so bad at them because just like forcing myself to read is like really hard. Maybe I just need to like not do these challenges and just do like mood reading vlogs because like I feel like I read so much more when I just like am mood reading, and like me forcing myself to read is just really kind of challenging. At this point right now, I literally don't want to read Two Twisted Crowns and I'm so like mad at myself for that. I think like maybe I should have read, I read Powerless by Lauren Roberts and then jumped straight into the X-Heck for like a fun little Halloween read, and then jumped straight into Assistant to the Villain. And the reason I chose that one was because it wasn't that long and I knew Two Twisted Crowns was coming today, so I wanted to read a book that I could get through relatively fast out of my TBR. It was like one of the shorter books, and I just feel like I've read like, I mean the X-Hex is more like rom-com-y, but it is like witchy, and I just feel like I read fantasy and then like a witchy vibe and then like another fantasy. I literally have only read one chapter and I just like the vibes of the One Dark Window situation is just like very like dark and like gothic, and it was so good and I loved it, but I just like am like mentally I feel like I've just been reading like darker subjects and I just feel like I want something light and fluffy, and this is so the opposite of that I just don't know if I can read this right now. My cat is chasing his tail right now. Archie, you know that's attached to you all the time. You are 6 months old. You haven't learned that it's there yet. I just walked over to my bookshelf and I was looking at all of the books. Like I had my plan for my October TBR, which so far I have been following. I was looking at the shelf and I was like, okay, is there anything else that's not on my October TBR, but just books that I have that I might want to read? And I really don't have that many like fluffy books right now. I have just like so many like fantasies and stuff like that. And literally the only one that I have is Wildfire, which is on my October TBR, which is a new release this month. And so I guess I might just like hop into it and see. I'm really scared that I'm gonna get in a book slump from this. All right, we are back. It is the next day. Last night I did end up reading more. I just didn't film it. I was so tired yesterday. I was just like not feeling well. I was just struggling. Whatever, I did my best. We ended the day. I now have 14 hours and 40 minutes left. I cannot believe this is day 3 and I haven't even read for 10 hours. So of course I was super excited to start Two Twisted Crowns. It just was not the vibe for me. Listen, I read one chapter of this and already I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what happens. I know it's going to be interesting. I know it's gonna be a fun ride and I want to go on the ride. Just not right now. It's just like not the mood I'm in. Like I'm pretty confident this will be the next book I read, but I just need a romance. I just need a romance. I just need a palette cleanser. Like, that's just what I need. So I pick up Wildfire. Looking at my TBR and I'm thinking like, this is the only like rom-com I feel like I have on here, or just like a more lighthearted romance. And I've read one chapter of this and also put that down. I decided, you know what? Maybe I can stray from my October TBR and maybe I'll just get something on my Kindle. I went on my Kindle and I was like, oh yeah, there is something on my Kindle that was also a part of my October TBR, and that's Flawless by Elsie Sliver, which is the first book in the Chestnut Springs series, and third time's a charm because, well, third time's a charm for two reasons. Number one, because this is the third book that I picked up and I liked it. This is also the third time I've picked up this book and I'm in it now, which just goes to show me, like, sometimes I get very like discouraged by my mood reading. Like, for example, I like really want to read this book because I really want to read the Chestnut Springs series. I've already attempted to read this 2 other times and I just like, it was not hitting for me, but it just, because I wasn't in the mood for it. Now I'm in the mood for it. I was reading it last night and I was like having the best time. The Chestnut Springs series is on Kindle Unlimited, so if you have Kindle Unlimited, you don't gotta buy the books, girlfriend. Although they're cute, I probably will buy them, but I needed like a change of genre. Like, I was reading so many fantasies, I needed just like a good romance. Number two, what's really hitting really good for me right now is the change of format. I think I just was so kind of like tired of holding books. This is so much easier to hold, and I have my pop socket on here. Number three thing that we're gonna do to prevent a reading slump. I don't think I am getting in a reading slump now that I started this book, but I'm also going to do a change of scenery. It's already afternoon and I have not read it all today, but what I think I'm gonna do is go to a coffee shop and do some reading there. There's a local coffee shop I've been just like obsessed with lately. So I just wanna go there really just to get a coffee because I'm addicted to their coffee. What did I order? Oh yeah, I did order that, I forgot. Good morning. It is the next day. Listen, we need to just like, I'm just gonna talk for a second and you're gonna say, Morgan, this entire video has been you talking. I'm sorry. A couple things. Number one, I've been really bad at filming myself actually reading, especially because I've been reading a lot in the evening. This week has just been rough because I've just been so tired. My sleep has been so terrible. It is apparently just an issue my boyfriend and I are both having. Yesterday when he got home from work, I was laying in bed and I was reading and he was napping and just were like laying around, and I just did not pick up my camera one single time. So for the past like month, honestly, for the past like month, my mental health has like not been great, which has severely impacted my filming and my uploading and all that kind of stuff. I'm starting to do better, but I just am like physically so tired all the time no matter what I do. And it's just been like a struggle. So I mean, at least for this video it has been good because I have read a lot more. If I had a bunch of energy to do a bunch of things, then I probably wouldn't have read as much as I have. Like, I feel like I've spent this entire video just talking about whatever I'm reading or not reading. I feel like it's been a little bit less about the books, and for that I apologize. I am still reading Flawless by Elsie Sliver, and let's see, I'm getting pretty close. I am 81%. Oh, it says I have an hour left in this book. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I have 11 hours and 37 minutes left. Being that I am exhausted, it's still early in the morning, and I figured I would just start filming because I'm gonna start reading now. I'm honestly going to lay in bed. Odds of me staying awake are probably pretty slim, but I'm gonna do my best. But I just physically need to lay down. I'm dying. If you haven't seen this like on TikTok or anything, this is a game changer. This hooks to my headboard. I put my Kindle in here. There's this little thing that clips on the Kindle and you can change the pages with the remote. So it's completely hands-free reading and it's a total game changer. I think that's why I read so much yesterday, is because I was literally laying in bed all cuddled up, just click, click, click. I wanted to show you that so when you see me reading, you're not like, Morgan, what are you doing? All right. This video has been such a shit show, and this is why I've been struggling so much with filming on this channel recently. I mean, honestly, I don't even know what I've said in this video at this point. I just feel like these challenges are not for me, because no matter how much I try to make myself read, and no matter how much I know I'm reading, I'm still not reading. I'm still not reading that fast. It's crazy, or that much. I know 24 hours is a long time, but to do it in a couple of days, I thought for sure. It's been a week. And I seriously wanted to chalk this video. I was talking to my boyfriend about it and he was like, 24 hours is just a lot of reading. Like, okay, it took you a week, so what? And I'm like, yeah, but then this video just isn't exciting if it took me a freaking week to do these 24 hours. And then it's like not even a challenge anymore. You just read normal. But regardless, I still feel like I read so much this past week, like definitely more than I normally do. So I guess it's like a win either way. Filming the past couple weeks has been like kind of just all over the place and really challenging. And oh my gosh, there's men sawing outside and my pets are running around. What else is new? I cannot get silence ever. Number one, like having a hard time remembering to film just in general. And number two, I kind of have been so invested in what I'm reading that I forget to grab my camera and turn it on. I'm pretty sure the last thing I filmed, I started Flawless by Elsie, Sliver, and I couldn't stop. I loved it so much that then I said, like, when I was done with it, I was gonna go back and read like a new release that came out this month. No, I went straight into Heartless, which is the second book in the Chestnut Spring series. And basically I understand the hype with the Chestnut Spring series now. Thank God for the Kindle app on the phone because it makes life so much easier. I'm 78% done with this book. Oh, it says I have 54 minutes left. Really? Okay, well, I guess I'm finishing that pretty soon. Wait, but I still have 6 hours, 39 minutes, and 50 seconds left in this 24-hour challenge, and it's been a week. It's been a full ass week, and I'm kind of really sick of this challenge. We are so close to being done that I guess I need to just suck it up and do the damn thing. All right, let's finish this book. All right, I just finished Heartless and I loved it. I love this series so much. I can't believe it took me so long to read it. I still have 5.5 hours left on the timer, so we got one more book to go. I was just looking at my TBR. I'm trying to stick to my October TBR. Heartless wasn't on it, so it's not like I'm following it to a T. I've been doing honestly really good at sticking to my October TBR. I have literally no self-control at all. Listen, I went through my bookshelf. I picked up some books. I tried to look at them. No, I do have the physical copy of this book, but it is on Kindle Unlimited. Listen, this is my thought. I go, okay, well, let me see what the next book in the Chestnut Spring series is. Powerless, which is Jasper's book, which means it's a hockey romance. Not just a hockey, but childhood friends to lovers. It's like the best of the best all put together, and I'm gonna resist that? There's no way. We're reading Chestnut Springs. Like, I'm so deep in this now. I love this series. No, because I'm literally page 13. I'm already in love with this. Like, this is not a spoiler or anything. This is like, I'm in the first 13 pages. I know no spoilers yet. Like, she's engaged and he's there and he's so mad about it and he hates this guy and he's like, oh, and he's all jealous and stuff, and I just am loving it already.
Are you shaking the Kindle?
Yeah. Can we just like get this video over with? I am here to conclude this 24-hour reading challenge, which was just like not impressive. It was not like, listen, we're not gonna talk about it. And I swear I'm just gonna do normal reading vlogs from now on. I'm gonna stop trying to do challenges because I just clearly cannot do them. We're gonna end this video just kind of wrapping up everything that I read, starting with Assistant to the Villain. I rate this like 4 stars. I'm a big 4-star girl. Like, I loved it, had so much fun reading it, but it's not like 5-star vibes, but like yet I don't really have negative things to say about it. It just didn't give me that 5-star feeling. I'm really easily entertained, and this book was just a good time. Like, I really just had fun reading this. And moving on from there, we were basically just reading the Chestnut Springs series. I did try to read 1 chapter of Two Twisted Crowns, and I read 1 chapter of Wildfire, and it just wasn't hitting. So then I read Reckless by Elsie, Sliver, which I don't have the physical copy of, but I did find the special edition one online, so I did order that. We are gonna get that. And I have been ordering the special edition ones because I didn't know that they were special edition, and I couldn't find Flawless. I did end up finding it online. We're going to have the whole series in special edition covers, which I'm really excited about. Anyway, so Flawless, wow, seems like forever ago to me now. I feel like I'm so deep in the Chestnut Springs world. I had such a good time reading it. Again, 4 stars. Like, I had such a good time. It was really, really good. It didn't change my life. Like, but like it kind of did, just because it got me into the Chestnut Springs universe. They are like, I would say like they're a rom-com. Like, they are funny. Like, I laugh out loud at these books sometimes. They're definitely spicier than I ever imagined, or that I ever like got the impression of from other people talking about it, which I was pleasantly surprised by. I don't know, I just literally am loving this series so much, because when I finished Flawless, I immediately went into Heartless, because like I was like, I cannot leave this world now. Like, I am in it. If you are unfamiliar with the series, the first book is about Rhett, who is a bull rider. Summer is Rhett's manager's daughter. Rhett's been basically causing some trouble, and she is now put on his, she's basically assigned to babysit him, and then, you know, obviously, come on, it's a romance. We know what happens after that. And it's so good. This is about Cade, which is Rhett's brother and Summer's best friend. Cade is a single dad. Summer's best friend is Willa. She gets hired as the nanny. It's so good. It's so good. And I know a lot of times people don't like little kids or whatever in books, but his son is hilarious. He is so adorable. Every part that he's in is either adorable and so sweet or freaking so funny. Like, I just feel like I loved him in this. His son's name is Luke. I think he's like 5 or 6 in this book. Just like adorable, hilarious. Then we have Powerless, which I just finished last night, which my 24-hour timer, I think I had like a half hour left in this book, like more than the timer was. So I was like, I'm just gonna finish this book. I'm not gonna stop it at 24 hours and then have a half hour left in this book. Listen, this one I could talk about for so long, because this book is about Jasper, who is kind of like, for lack of a better term, Rhett and Cade's adopted brother, we'll just say. If you read the books, like, you would obviously understand more, but he just kind of got taken in by their family, and this is a romance with their cousin. So like, it's funny because they keep making fun of him, like, that's your cousin, and they're like, we're not cousins, like, we're just friends, because Jasper's not actually related. And they just kind of like, they initially met each other when she was 10 and he was 15, and she just basically always had this crush on him. This book starts out with her engaged, and some stuff goes down where she ends up not going through with it, and Jasper basically like saves her from a bad marriage, gets her out of the wedding, like all the things. And he's a hockey player, she's a ballerina. They just have so much history. They have such a connection. This is by far my favorite book of the series so far, because I can personally relate to it so much. I'm not gonna get into this too much, but I was married. I have a boyfriend now. My boyfriend now is somebody I was dating in like middle school, was friends with like in high school, and like this whole book, she was very much like just always in love with him, and like he was kind of always there for her and was protective over her and very obviously like cared for her, but never would do anything or make any move beyond friends. And I'm like, that's literally what happened to me. Like, in love with this man my whole life, and he just like is protective over me and is always there for me no matter what, but yet like won't make him like tell me you love me, you know? That's kind of just like how this book was, and it was just so funny. I was like stopping reading to like read things to my boyfriend and tell them about him. I'm like, this reminds me of us, and like I just loved that about this book. Also, my boyfriend's a hockey player, so like love that for me. I am unfortunately not a ballerina. Other than that, you know, we're pretty spot on. So I read 4 books in this video. Also, the thing about the Chestnut Springs series is these kind of like look thicker, I feel like. I read them on my Kindle because they are on Kindle Unlimited. I just had to have the physical copies because I love them so much. The text is like really big, and like I went through each of these books in like 4 to 5 hours. Pretty quick, I feel like. And Assistant to the Villain was a good time. I loved it. Like, I had so much fun reading that book, but the best part of this video literally was starting the Chestnut Spring series. I'm so freaking happy that I started reading that series. I cannot get enough of it. I'm gonna try to read something else and not just go and finish the series all in like back to back to back to back. I'm sorry this video was like probably really chaotic. I haven't started editing it yet, so I don't know how it's going to be. Thank you for watching this far. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys have read these books, what you think, if you want to read these books, all the things. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video.